Hello, my beautiful souls. Thank you for tuning in and joining. Today, I'll be offering a reading for the month of June. I just put up a week late the reading for the sun moving into Gemini, and there was some heavy energy in there about really letting go of the productive procrastination in an attempt to avoid dealing with the inner work that we have to do. And as I laid out the cards for today, we still have some of that work to do, which makes sense. We have the month of June is, predominantly Gemini influenced as we then transition into Cancer. So I just love when there's that synchronicity showing up. And so the theme of the month is represented by the Empress. The Empress is about fertility and abundance. It's kind of like that mother figure, that sense of like, I rule over all that I see, and I grow, I am fertile, I am abundant. And there's this real sense of like divine inner harmony. So how do we get there? Well, I like to work with oracle cards when I do these readings as well. I have the Caroline Myss archetype cards, and the card I pulled for the month of June is Destroyer. Releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. But the shadow attribute is intoxication with destructive power and destroying others' potential. So this is really interesting because on one hand we have the Empress, which is about like growing and all of that, but then we have the Destroyer energy. But just like the wildfires that take out the brush so that new life can be grown, the Destroyer takes out which is no longer serving us. And this seems to be coming up a lot in these archetype cards, like clearing out that which does not serve us, preparing for new life. The Empress, right? So sometimes that can feel destructive, but that's only if there's like a fear wrapped around moving forward. As long as we're not intoxicating ourselves with destroying things unnecessarily, which is, can happen. So then I don't have my Ascended Masters card with me. So I'm using the Earth Warriors Oracle that I was here in the space. This energy to support that light energy of releasing what's not working to allow new life to grow. And I pulled the card Tewodi, the kin of the red-tailed hawk. And what a powerful card that is. Just looking at it just feels inspiring. And the Earth Warriors Oracle is based in like Native American archetypes and spirit animals. Tewodi is the Cherokee word for hawk. And this paragraph in particular really stuck out to me. There's a lot here that I'm not going to read all of. Red-tailed hawks are many, yet each one has a unique plumage. They are both an army and a group of individuals. So it is with our human soul family. We have a common purpose on this planet, but the way each member of the human race goes about fulfilling and expressing our innate purpose will be unique. Our job is to recognize and support each other, even though we come from different disciplines, different backgrounds, and approach the same world problems with different perspectives. We may work from different places along different routes for the one true purpose of birthing higher consciousness on this planet. Still, when we realize we belong to each other and our common purpose, though sometimes it may be hiding under quirky differences of character and expression, we feel a sense of belonging, that we are connected through an invisible but palpable thread of soul. To fully embrace the supportive power of your soul family, a healing journey may be required around family, friends, and communities where you have held wounding that you are ready to outgrow. This might include religious or business communities. Insecurities around being an outcast, rejection, and abandonment. Let go of these wounds so that you can heal. I'm summarizing at this point. So again, that releasing what no longer serves us so that new life may begin, letting go of the wounds that are getting in the way of our growth. This all supports the Empress, the idea of growing, beginning a new life. So some really beautiful energy. Again, that looking back at that message from the Gemini reading, letting go of the productive procrastination that's getting in the way of this deep searching, when we can really tune in to this deep wounds and heal them, so much is possible. So that's really beautiful. So now if we move into the rest of the cards for love, money, work, health, and spirit, I haven't really tuned into these too much, so it'll be interesting to see what comes up. For love, we have the Knight of Wands reversed. So maybe, and I like to think of this more of relationships, not just love, because love should not just be that romantic aspiration. It should be love of all people, all in community. And so the Knight of Wands, he's on the horse rearing up. He's ready to get up and go. But when it's reversed, it's like maybe it needs to slow down. And we'll see where that reverberation shows up. So then in money, we have the Two of Wands reversed. And so maybe we need to pay attention to what's right in front of us instead of looking outward, looking for the next thing, right? He's holding the globe but still wanting more. With the reverse card is you've got what you need right in front of you to grow. Work, we have the Five of Cups. So maybe there's a change coming that you're not going to be too happy about, or you're currently dealing with a change that you're not happy about. There's this idea that like you're focusing on the wrong thing here, and you really need to turn around and shift your perspective and focus on what's still there, or allow that change to come gracefully. And this comes back to the relationships here, right? Like things are kind of at a standstill. Interesting. So then we have health. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. Again, shifting perspective, right? This kind of reminds me, I feel like there's a lot of like, let go of the victim image. We've got 4 out of the 6 cards are reversed, and with our Destroyer and our Taiwoti cards, this idea of letting go of that which doesn't serve us. When we have our health, talk about letting go of what doesn't serve us with the Eight of Swords reversed here. With the Eight of Swords, it's like you are here because you choose to be. And when it's reversed, you're not recognizing that. And I feel like there's this real sense of like, oh, woe is me. And I love cliches, right? Life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. So when we have health issues, it's our body's way of telling us that something is off balance. And instead of playing the victim card, looking in at what we can fix about ourselves, what we can bring back to balance. And because then we have the Spirit card, we have the Five of Swords reversed. And this feels like maybe we're at odds with ourselves here. There's this internal battle between coming out. There's an internal battle between like evolving and staying stuck, right? Like we're seeing here with the health card, in the relationships as well. I feel like the Knight of Wands, it's about, there's a real sense, and this kind of goes back again to that Gemini reading, of going within and becoming still. It's time to like slow down a little bit and really tune in, but not in a narcissistic way that devalues the experience of those around you, but in an attempt to heal yourself to further support those around you. Because again, there is a light and a dark energy to everything, and sometimes going inward can bring about the opposite effect, where we become too absorbed, too self-consumed and self-absorbed, that we forget about the people around us. So going in is not about tuning out the world, it's about tuning into how we show up to the world, and without judgment, which takes practice, really being honest with ourselves about how we're showing up in the world. Because once we have that honesty there, then we can start to make the changes. Then we can use the energy of the destroyer to get rid of that which no longer is serving us. And by tuning into the kin of the red-tailed hawk, tuning into the community around you and healing the wounds that exist in the community around you, your relationships with the people around you, we can really grow and expand and bring love, healing, light, and joy to so many around us. So sometimes that dark energy can be really scary, and sometimes it can turn us into narcissists because we feel like we have to get caught up in doing all this healing. But when we confront it, and then we accept it for what it is, and we get honest about what it is and where it's coming from, that's what helps us serve others. That's when we can drop that narcissist. Because I talk about this, where people go on these healing journeys and then they use spiritual bypasses, like I'm healing, as an excuse to be a jerk. It doesn't work that way. It means you have to grow your awareness and more humility so you can better serve the people around you. Because when we give ourselves permission to heal, we give everybody else permission to heal. Again, that community, the red-tailed hawk. Serving from a place of humility, recognizing that we're all here together. We all have a part to play. And being willing to be honest with ourselves about the excuses we're making for not showing up in our best form and function. And I've been going through this on a personal level. And as I say this out loud, I'm also speaking to myself, because it's really easy when you're caught up in healing your wounds to just want to tune out everybody else and make yourself the most important person in the room. And that's not really beneficial, because now you're just sitting in the energy of those wounds instead of pulling yourself out of it, getting honest about it and letting it go. Right? And this is something I work with my clients on a regular basis, and I've been really seeing come true for myself in a really deep and beautiful way. You have to be willing to acknowledge the ick, accept it for what it is, get honest with yourself, and then you can let it go and bring in and replace it with that new energy that you want to live in instead. And create growth and abundance and new life. And then we can build better connections with those around us in a really deep and beautiful way. So I think I've said enough for today. I hope this message finds whoever needs to hear it most. If you have any questions, please feel to reach out to me. If you would like your own reading, the links to book with me are below. I'm here to serve those on their journey of healing as they lift the chains, the self-imposed chains, so they can move forward and connect with their inner divinity and heal on a soul level. I am here to be your tour guide of inner healing. Namaste.